Hey, this is Matsan and welcome to our next video.
In this video, we're gonna share with you some culture differences of things which are cheap in Taiwan but expensive in Poland, and
things that cheap in Poland and expensive in Taiwan.
Ta-da! Yeah, so
since we've been to both places, we are leaving one of them. So we have some experience and we can share it with you guys. So in the case you would like to travel to Taiwan or travel to Poland,
you will know what to buy as a souvenir.
Yes, exactly.
So we enter.
Enter who? I mean, enter what? Look at those jokes. Oh my god.
Good old days. Firstly are the things which are expensive in Taiwan but actually cheap in Poland.
Okay.
Firstly, alcohol.
Why starting with this one? I feel like it's just like a thing forever.
It is. Because as you already know, alcohol is a regular drink among European countries, so it has to be cheap. Not only beer, also wine. Vodka I'm not too sure because I was too young back then when I was in Taiwan. I never a fan, so I don't really remember the price in Taiwan.
I would like to mention that especially wine, I think wine is the cheapest thing in here comparing to Taiwan and also comparing to China, and I believe it might be overall Asia, not sure, but every time we are having some kind of like friends coming here, or previously I was working with people from China actually, and they all just love buying wine here and they say it's ultra cheap, yeah? And because you know, this kind of like already pretty nice wine you can find for 50-60 zloty even for a gift, and they say it is ultra cheap and it's ultra nice one, yeah, comparing to them. So they are always happy about wine. Wine is, by the way, a very good gift for a person from, at least from China or from Taiwan.
Yeah, it's true.
Alcohol. I would say, one thing, that I think the amount and the options are bigger in here.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
Because in Taiwan, mostly we are drinking the Taiwanese beer or Japanese beer or some other Asian countries' beer, Thailand and so on, but not a big amount. And other than that, we have Belgian beer, French beer, and German beer. But for me, when I buy them in Taiwan, they always are just those few brands and the taste is not that special. Well, I do see there is some kind of beer revolution going on right now because I am seeing more and more bar, not nightclubs, but more and more, more and more craft beer barring happening in Taiwan, which is really great. I'm really happy about that. So next time when we are traveling back to Taiwan, for sure we're gonna see. But anyways, for now, just considering about the price, for sure it's way cheaper here. Like if you want to buy a normal just lager, so let's say just commercial brand, yeah, so you can buy it with 3 zloty, 2 zloty, 3 zloty. Yeah, and in Taiwan you probably need to spend already 5 zloty, 6 zloty minimum. Yeah, so that is just a very simple beer. And going back to wine, over here, if you really more or less like us, if you really don't care about the quality of the wine, you just want to drink wine, so you can even spend like 10 zloty just to have a 1 liter or 750 milliliter. You can already have it by 10 zloty, so it is really cheap. And also you're in Europe, so everything like, okay, let's say wine from France, it's just there, how expensive it could be, yeah. So that's also another reason that alcohol is really cheap here.
So like this. Another thing is cheese?
Cheese-san!
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
It is true, because cheese is anyways like a Western ingredient.
Okay.
Western
so you just don't use it so often, yeah?
Yeah, like we do use it, but we don't have such a big variety. Such big varieties. So big variety. We don't have so many options. Yeah,
okay.
And usually what we see in the supermarket are those one in the proper pack that you have to open the tape and they're already well cutted, and every single piece of them are in the folia. As far as I remember, the options are not that big, and here if you go to the hypermarket you can see like the whole zone just with cheese, yeah, and different color, different rotten stage. So yeah, and over here it is really way cheaper.
Sparkle water, yes, that's true.
Sparkle water.
If someone is a fan of sparkling water,
Yes.
sparkling water or sparkle water?
I don't know, we say it's gazowana.
You know, this gassy water, yeah. So and you in your country it's very expensive. Here you will be in heaven because basically the price is the same, I think, overall, yeah.
And still water.
People, at least me, I wasn't really drinking any other water. For me, there is like water from a sink or gazowana, this gassy water, yeah. There is no other option, yeah.
A funny thing that for me, since I'm drinking gazowana water, I mean still water since I was born.
Yeah.
So after seeing them buying bottles and bottles of sparkle water, I was like, that is so weird because it tastes salty. And you don't feel like it tastes salty, yeah. It tastes like salty water, and for me water should be no taste. Yeah, and I see it's also popular here if like you just add some syrup into the sparkle water.
Yeah.
So
like you can buy like an amount of syrup. It's like 200 milliliters, yes, and you just add like a spoon into the glass, yeah, and then change the color and add the taste, yeah. So many people do that actually to save money, yeah.
So generally because it's very popular here, so that's why it is really cheap here.
Okay, another one is the flowers, really.
Tak!
I think I know the reason, because we have those grannies selling flowers and it's very cheap, yeah. Like you can buy it from grannies instead of the gallery, right?
Yeah, and this I don't know why. Like, I mean, we didn't really do any research on why the flowers are cheaper here, but here there are lots of those private flower shops, and other than that you can also buy flowers in those big hypermarket or supermarket, or like you mentioned, there are those grannies on the side of the road that are selling the flowers. I don't know, they plant it or they buy it from somewhere, but it's really cheap. Like recently it was the Women's Day, so if you buy, let's say, a bouquet of tulips, so probably it costs 8 zloty, 9 zloty?
8 zloty, 6 to 8 zloty, then another one, because and that, like I would say in this kind of store, those are the cheapest in those supermarkets. From grannies it's also pretty cheap, and the most expensive in my opinion are from those florists, fancy, like in the galleries. This is ridiculously expensive and I would never buy from there, really.
I remember during our wedding we put those fresh flowers and the price was crazy. Seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyways, as far as I remember, the flowers in Taiwan, they are for sure more expensive than this, and if you buy like a big bouquet of flowers, rose, let's say, so I remember it's up to 100 zloty. So more or less it's like this. You will go to stores in Taiwan and you will find those flowers which is equaling the price of here in those private flower shops. Yeah. So you don't have those cheaper options, you only have those high-end options, which sucks. And that's why back then I didn't really like flowers, because in my opinion,
waste of money.
Waste of money, and it will die in a few days. So what for? I rather want 100 zloty for some nice food or for some nice lotions or things I can use for a longer time. Yeah. Next!
Milk? Milk, really? Milk?
Yeah.
This topic I completely don't know. I don't remember in Taiwan.
So in Taiwan firstly in Taiwan we have bigger capacity, like we're using, I left Taiwan for too long, so I can't remember. More or less like 500 milliliter bottle, or sometimes even 1 liter bottle. Like we like to have big bottle of milk, and usually that's around 500 milliliter bottle. It's around 7 zloty, more or less 7 zloty for that. And here I see you like to use those carton box. Like over here in Poland, you also have like 1 liter. No matter it's in the carton box or it's in the plastic bottles, it costs 1 liter costs around 3 zloty. Yeah, so it's like a 5 zloty differences, which is quite a lot.
But you have a different kind of milk, which here is pretty expensive, and it's this milk from soy. Yeah. Because here it costs around 10 zloty even. Yeah. And I remember it is very cheap in Taiwan.
Really cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
That is funny.
How much does it cost in Taiwan?
like your normal milk here.
Okay.
So it's like opposite.
So it's just different ingredients you're using. Yeah, we use cow.
And
you use
soybeans.
And you use soy. Okay. Now we are going to the section of things which are expensive in Poland but cheap in Taiwan. And the first thing is fuel, and yes, that surprised me a lot. At least back then, because, well, I have to say it was a few years ago. I don't know the standard right now, but back then it was really, really cheap. And back then, prices in Poland were even higher than right now. Fuel back then in Poland costed over 5 zł, and right now it's actually 4 point something. So, and they were adding fuel, and I was literally shocked. Like, first of all, I have never seen in Taiwan. I haven't even seen this gas that, because for example some people here, to save money, they add this special like gas system, and they add this liquid gas into the car instead of fuel. So then you can reduce the price. But in Taiwan I haven't even seen this kind of stuff. Yes, and the fuel, I was so shocked. It cost 2 zł something.
Yeah.
2 zł something.
Or maximum 3 something.
No, I remember it was 2 something.
Back then, that was a few years ago.
It was definitely 2 something. I remember that it was so cheap. Maybe right now it's raised a bit, I don't know, it was 2 something, no, maximum 3, I think, yes. And I remember your dad had the full tank, and it costed so less compared to what I'm doing here. I'm crying every time I'm adding the fuel to the car.
And that was exactly my feeling when I first moved to Poland, because back then when I live in Taiwan, I hear people are complaining so much that like the government is so expensive and just try to help the people. And then I was listening to this all the time, and after I moved here I was like, duh, look at the people here, they're suffering because of this fuel, and it's a must because you have such a big land here, and so you need a car, and you have to take the price over here, which is, everybody knows it's expensive, but what can they do? Yeah, so
yeah, because that's how you know those taxes are fucking your ass. Another thing, clothes. Yeah. yes, so much.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we have, first of all, in Poland we have second-hand clothes stores, which are cheap, and I think this is an opposite of Taiwan, because in Taiwan those second-hand are actually expensive.
But
or like it's kind of like a fashion or something to buy.
Yes, like vintage. So it's like people overprice it, in my opinion. But of course those vintage, they are with better quality than most of the second-hand clothes here.
So actually here, clothes are super expensive comparing to Taiwan. I remember I bought even a shirt or something, and it costed me really, I don't even 10 zł or something, like it was super cheap.
Yeah.
And here if I want to buy the same shirt, it costs 70 zł.
Yeah.
And also I think, I'm sorry, but I remember also in there are night markets, and they sell lots of clothes, and they are very, very cheap, yeah?
That is the point that I also want to explain, that over here you mostly buy your clothes in the shopping mall. And in the shopping mall you only have those big brands, Zara, Pull&Bear and so on. So they cannot lower the price. Of course in Taiwan we also have those big brands, but it's like more like when you want to buy something even better, then you go to those shops. Other than that, people regularly has this habit that you just go to night market or just regular markets, and there are lots of those private shops, and the clothes quality are not that bad actually. I grew up wearing those normal like 10 zł, 20 zł shirts, and they're perfectly fine, and many of them are still staying in my closets in Taiwan. Yeah. So it's just, you can say, let's say you can spend the same amount of money, 100 zł. In Poland you will buy 1 shirt, 2 shirts. In Taiwan you can buy 5 shirts, 6 shirts. Yeah. So it's this completely different kind of culture. And the same as pants, shoes, bags, the same. Like if you don't mind buying a little bit less quality, a little bit worse quality, then you go to the night market.
Oh, another thing, and this is very, very famous in Taiwan, is electronics, yes? So I think if you are geeks of computers, like me, or phones, like me, any kind of electronics, you know that Taiwan is kind of like one of the leaders of electronics. So of course this is very cheap there, yes? And it's not only that the electronics are cheap overall, but also it's so many of them to choose, especially again in night markets. Yes, I could just check it, try it out even, yeah, if everything works fine, and you buy it for super cheap price. Yes, and if I have to buy it in here, I would pay 5 times more. And also very important things such as food. I would also connect food with beverages, connect it together. And it's also again night markets are coming here. Everything is about night market.
Really.
It's the place that I miss so much here. I was eating from those places. Nothing bad happened to me.
It's clean.
Nothing bad happened to me. I'm still alive, as you can see, and I enjoy eating food there. It's so much and so many options. It's not like here you just go, oh, McDonald's, nice. Then it's like KFC next by the nice options we have. Yeah, I mean, of course we have nice restaurants, but it's all very expensive as well. Yes.
Yeah.
And those also here in Poland, you have those pretty cheap milk bars.
Milk bars, yeah.
But it's the same food everywhere, I feel.
Yeah.
And in there, it's so many options.
Yeah.
And well, pretty unhealthy as well. Many of those are very like
Deep
fried.
But you know, as Asian, I really have to defend Asian culture about the food, that we, in my opinion, are more creative about making food into different styles.
Also for people who have never been to Asia, any place in Asia, don't compare, for example, Chinese food or Taiwanese food from these cheap restaurants here, those like, for example, more like Vietnamese restaurants. They more or less pretty much the same options, yes, and taste.
Yeah.
Not bad, but you might get bored of it.
Yeah.
And in there, the taste is completely different and way, in my opinion, way better as well. Yeah, which I enjoy a lot, and it's super cheap as well.
Yeah.
Also, for example, Taiwan is very famous of bubble tea. Yeah, I think you try it before. If you didn't, so you can try it in Poland. We have some stores, but in Poland, bubble tea cost, I don't know, 10 zloty is really if you are super lucky, but I guess the price is 15, even 20
15
zloty.
to 20 zloty, I remember in Poland.
And in Taiwan, it costs like, what, 4 zloty? 5?
4 zloty,
5?
and if it's a large one, so like 7 zloty.
I remember I went to something like a restaurant, and not restaurant, this night markets, yes, and I got one and I paid like 2 zloty for it. 2 zloty, yeah.
And we have like 1 liter size.
Yeah, super big one. Yeah, they always give you super huge one, which here would be this extra large that you have to pay 27 zloty, or something. Food is very cheap there. I think you cannot die from starvation in Taiwan.
You cannot.
You just can't.
You cannot, and that's also why people like Taiwanese people like to eat so much, because it's such a beautiful culture that you're experiencing. Every day you go out, you don't have to go to those fancy restaurants. Just go to the one next to your house, and there are this mama there is making such a beautiful noodles for you, and it costs like 5 zloty. So that's brings out another topic, that many students in Taiwan, we don't really know how to cook.
Yeah, actually that's the point. She haven't even had the kitchen
back then when I was renting.
It was just house, yes, and just place to live. And when she wants to eat, she will eat outside, because she doesn't have to cook, because it's so cheap to eat outside that there's no point.
In my opinion, there is a huge space of improvement about food industry in Poland, for example. Like those Asian restaurants, they can make it really taste more different, and Polish food or Western food can make it more price friendly for people. It doesn't always have to be so fancy with such a high price. This is like a really long talk of the video, but we are sharing you all the possible experience that we have. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see each other in the next video. Bye!
Bye bye!